What is up, YouTube? How's everybody out there doing today? Hope you all having a great day. We have good old Life on Wheels 717 here with us in the shop. I don't know why. Why are you here?
I had a day off and I thought I'd just come visit you.
Oh, he just wanted to come visit. It's actually Sunday. Yeah. I'm actually here working on a Sunday. And, yeah, so that sucks. But let's go outside and look at something real quick that good old Laz brought. Where is it, Laz? Where's your... Oh, there it is. I found it.
I'm trying to hide it.
I found it.
That car?
What's that?
I can hide it.
Yeah, you definitely can. You definitely can hide that car. That car is definitely hide ability. So he brought one of his cars here, and we'll show it to you here. Actually, Shane wrapped this car.
Yes, he did.
And Shane Designs wrapped this car. Well, this is his. What year is this?
It's a 2014 370Z. Look at
that, 2014 370Z. I always liked the 370s. I thought they were pretty cool cars, and this one has a really, really awesome wrap on it. So can't go wrong there.
It's lowered.
And it's lowered. Stance Nation, guys. Stance Nation. You know?
Yeah, but you gotta...
Don't kick it. Don't be mad.
I already forgot it.
Don't kick it. Alright, guys. So the last video that I did that you guys seen was me tearing apart this beautiful 4L60, and it had all kinds of really awesome broken parts. I'll put the link right there. That way you guys can go watch that part of the video. But basically we tore everything down. It is totally smoked. Clutches, band, all that stuff is just trash, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start cleaning things up here. But one of the requests that I got from a lot of you guys out there in the comment section was, Andy, can you do a detailed video of putting the transmission back together and reassembling it? And you know what? Taking it apart only took about a half an hour, to be honest. It didn't take that long. It took me longer to attach the camera to my head and do the POV, you know, videoing, and it probably took me longer to edit the video than it did to actually tear it down and show you everything that was wrong with it. But I decided I'm going to do a reassembly of this transmission for you guys. Now, I will forewarn you, it's not going to be this entire video because it's going to take me a couple hours to reassemble this, and obviously you guys don't want to watch a few hours of me reassembling a transmission when you probably just really want to watch me do it for like 15 minutes or so. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to do piece by piece, section by section of reassembling this transmission as efficient and as good as I can do it. Maybe make maybe three videos of putting the transmission back together, like a part 1, part 2, part 3 of doing it. And hopefully you guys enjoy that. I hope you do. And it's going to take me a little bit extra time to put it back together, but that's not a big deal because I'm doing it for my fans and you guys asked for it, so I definitely want to show you some of the things that I do to these transmissions here. The very first thing, well, actually the very first thing that we did, which I didn't show, is the cleanup. So we got in here and we cleaned everything up real nice and pretty looking like. And now it's all clean. There was a ton of metal in these veins, these worm veins here. There's a ton of metal. So we got all that cleaned out, and now that's all nice and pretty. And the next step that we got to do, clean up the park crawl gear. That's what this is. The rear planetary section, we're going to clean it up. As you guys can see, this isn't really that dirty. They just need brake cleaned off real good. And then we're going to start stacking these low reverse clutches in the back of the transmission. And after the low reverse clutches are on, then we're going to go ahead and put our rear sprag assembly in and get that all buttoned up. All right, guys, we have both hands free. Look at that. Woohoo! And the first thing we're going to do, we did actually clean a lot of this up with some brake clean. We use our good old CarQuest brake cleaner here. But we got to get this bearing on. And the thing is, you need a little bit of blue grease. Never a bad idea to use all the lubrication that you possibly can. But basically that holds this bearing in place right here. And then we're going to go ahead. I'm going to put this down in the transmission like so. That's in. Basically what happens is when you put the transmission in park, say for example we put it in park here. Hold on a minute. Okay, you can see a little park crawl down there. I don't know where my flashlight's at. You see the park crawl down there. Boom. Now that's park right there. You can see the, hopefully you guys can see the park crawl release and engage. So when you put a transmission in park, that's how it holds itself in park on a hill or something. When you're in any other gear other than park, it's free spinning and the park crawl doesn't lock up the park gear. So the next thing we want to do is we want to put our rear planetary assembly in here. clean it up a little bit, make it look all pretty. There's a little bit of brake clean left in there. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Then we're just going to go ahead. I'm going to put that down in there like that. And boom, guys. It's just that simple. It's really not a hard thing to do. It's actually pretty easy. So we don't need any blue grease as of yet. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to grab these steels. We're going to clean them up because these steels are in actually really, really good shape. So we don't have to do anything to them except wipe them down, make them look pretty again. Now there is a certain way that this goes in here, as you guys can see by the lugs. And basically, if I remember correctly, which I don't know if I do. Nope, that's not it. This way. Yeah. Ah, there we go. This way. So that lug basically needs to fit towards the bottom there. As you guys can see, it has a little notch in it. That lug goes and it faces down like so. And then that just falls right in there. The next thing you're going to do, well, before we do the clutches, these are actually brand new clutches here. But there is a few, there's another steel that needs to go on here. So we'll go ahead and clean that steel up. And it's pretty simple, guys, honestly. This lug is always going to face down and to the left. So we'll put that in there. And then we have our first clutch. So basically, here's an old clutch. This isn't really in bad shape, the low reverse clutches. This is for low and reverse, obviously. These are the new clutches right here. So we'll take an old one, put it off to the side because we're replacing it. We want to make sure it stays in order. A little tip of advice to help put these things together and make all the hard parts go together a little bit easier is if you feel these little teeth right here, one side's going to be kind of a little bit of a spike to it or a little bit of an edge to it. The other side's going to be beveled. Always make sure the bevel side's facing up. So we'll put that in there like so. And then obviously we got another steel here. So we'll clean that steel off like so. Put that in. And then we're actually taking an old clutch, throw that over on there, get a new clutch, feel our lugs, which is right there like so. Put that in there like so. And then we're back to a steel. So you're going to basically continue to do this until you're all out of clutches. As long as you have the right amount of clutches and like nothing's like missing. There's a burnt clutch. Here's a new clutch. Get in there. They can be kind of finicky, but they will fall in there without any issues. We're actually getting to some worse clutches now, which is pretty cool. I get to see really what a, I mean, and these steels are really in really nice shape. You can tell because there's no hot spots. Imagine these steels just like a regular clutch in a manual car. It's kind of the same philosophy. And if they have hot spots in them, you want to either replace the steels or you can buff them. See, here's a really bad clutch. You can tell this one's really toasty. See how much darker that is compared to this clutch over here? I'm probably gonna like get myself mixed up because I'm talking to you guys at the same time as I'm trying to like build a very sophisticated transmission. So I'm probably gonna miss a part or something. Get that piece of rag out of my face. There we go, put that in there. And as you can tell, I have one good clutch left. Let's see how many clutches we have. And we have one old clutch left here. And then we just have rear sprag assembly. So we'll go ahead and put this clutch in because that's obviously the next one in line. Then we have this other really cool little thing here. You guys are probably wondering what this thing is. It's called an anti-rattle clip. And it goes inside the case, and I'll show you where it goes inside the case. It goes down like this, in this little groove right here. Right down in there. Maybe you guys can see it, maybe you can't. We're gonna take it out though. So it goes in that little groove, and basically what it does is when this rear sprag is inside that housing, when the training's moving back and forth and it's going reverse drive, it's going bang, 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 like so. This anti-rattle clip goes, I think right here is where it goes. So anti-rattle clip goes in one of these areas. I forget which one. Let me see here. This anti-rattle clip goes in place inside the case between here. That way when this turns inside the case, it doesn't tear up the lugs inside the transmission here. It actually has a little bit of a cushion, guys, which is a very, very, very good thing. So let's install the anti-rattle clip first. And yes, you definitely will need some blue grease to keep this anti-rattle clip in, like so. So, like I said before, don't be afraid to put some lube on it, guys. So we'll get that in there. Now that's down in there, nice and pretty like. And we're gonna go ahead and clean this up now. All right, so I got my flashlight. I want you guys to see it a little bit better, but there's the clutches and the steels and the rear planetary. And there's that anti-rattle clip right down there, as you guys can see as well, too. All right, so we have our rear sprag assembly. We're gonna go ahead and put that in now. And that's pretty simple. We just gotta line these lugs up in the correct location. That way, we don't mess it up. So, obviously you see there's a real long lug here, and then there's a real long lug down there. So we know that that part of the lug goes right there, like so. Now, as you guys can see, that rear sprag did not go all the way down. It actually needs to line up on the inside race as well. So we'll turn this a little bit. You can kind of see it a little bit here. It's hard for you guys to see it, but you can hear it drop down. Oh, there we go. I don't know if you guys heard that, but it did drop down. Now we're going to get our trusty dandy handy hammer here. And we're going to bash this thing down in there. And make it our bitch. So, all right, next step is we've got to put our snap ring in place, which is this guy right here. So now the snap ring will go in place, and there is a special way that this snap ring goes in, guys. I'm gonna grab my light here so you can see it. So down here on that flat part of that anti-rattle clip, which is, oh no, down here on the anti-rattle clip, there's a flat part. The end right here, this end of this snap ring, I'm gonna put it down in here like so, goes in front of that. You see how it sits in front of there, guys, a little bit? And we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna push it down in there with our fingers, our flanges, because it's not really that bad to do. There we go, and it's in. Now, sometimes what I'll do is I'll take a flathead screwdriver, because I do want that to be more over that way, and I'll just move it over like so. As you guys can see, it is blocking that a little bit, which is good, and that's pretty suffice. But now that whole rear of this is put together for you guys, and you see it's not very hard to do. It's just stacking clutches and then putting that snap ring in, and now your back half of your training is pretty much completed at this point. Next thing is your sun gear. Go ahead and clean that up a little bit, make it look pretty again. The bushing inside here looks really, really good, so I'm not concerned about replacing the bushing. If those bronze bushings are good inside, you really don't need to replace them. But that sun gear sits down in there like so. See, very simple. It just goes in, and the sun gear engages the planetaries in that rear planet gear set, and it turns everything. So that's how that all goes together. Then we have our thrust washer here. That goes in, and that's all keyed, so it just sits in there a certain way. There's really no wrong way of putting that in there. Then our new sun shell goes in, and that just sits in there like so. Now the next thing that we have here is we have to clean up our planetary setup. Now, as I did in the first video, this actually goes in this way, like so. And everything was set upside down, so when I go to put it back together again, I can take this, stick it in correctly like it's supposed to be. This is upside down, stick it in correctly, and when it's inside the transmission, it's all facing the correct way at that point. So we're gonna go ahead and clean all this stuff up here, and then install that into the transmission next. All right, we have our brass thrust washer in. We just got done cleaning up our rear planetary housing. Put that in there like so. Ooh, yeah, spin away, buddy. Spin away. We have our actual planetaries here. Our planetary goes in like so. It just sits in there just like that, guys. You see how simple that is? It's really not that hard of a thing to do. Our beast shell's in there doing its thing. And now comes the fun part. And we're actually going to go over here. This is our build kit. This is where all of our clutches are. We have new pistons and everything as well. Oh my God, 3/4 clutches. That's 3/4 clutches. New pistons. We're going to put all this stuff in. Probably in the next video, we're going to show rebuilding the input drum and everything. And that's kind of fun to do too. But we need this nice little bag right here. And inside this bag, as you guys can see, is a yellow little snap ring right there. We need that guy because this is basically what holds this shaft. I said holds this shaft up inside of here, and then that clip goes right on there. It is a pain in the ass to do. Unfortunately, I'm probably not going to show you doing this because, well, maybe I will. You know what? Let's give it a try. And if it looks like it's good footage, I'll include it in this video, which you should see here in a minute. So let's clean this all up, make it look all pretty like here. I mean, this shaft really isn't that dirty. I'll spray it down with some brake clean, get all the gunk off of it. Brake clean is your friend, guys. Don't not use brake clean. It is your friend. It does wonders for cleaning parts. Let's get another rag here. Clean that off like so. Clean it off like so. All right, so the fun part about this, I'll be honest with you, is getting this shaft back up inside of here, which it doesn't go in this way, guys. I'm just testing something. It is a pain in the ass. So basically, if you're looking at it from the inside of the tranny, this shaft goes in here like this. See if we can get it down there. See? And then that snap ring goes in here and holds that shaft in place. So that's what basically that does. So we're gonna put that back in there like that. And we need my tool. Where's my tool at? We're gonna find it here. These guys. You're gonna need one of these guys here to be able to put that in. And this one here works really good because this has the little nipples on the side. This one here works good as well, but I like to use this guy here. So we'll put them there. Let's get this shaft up in here. Okay, it's halfway in there. This Laz is looking at me like I'm an idiot. You hear that clunking?
Yep.
That's all the way in now.
There we go.
So basically, now that that's all the way in, we're gonna need our flashlight here. So we're gonna put our flashlight down in here like so, guys. Something like that. Yeah, Laz can hold our flashlight. And then we're gonna take our little snap ring here. This is the pain in the ass part. We gotta open it up. Come on, baby. Open it up like so. And get it over. This is the pain in the ass part. This is it. Sometimes that works. We'll use this one here. This is the part you guys don't really see a lot. Is this stupid snap ring. Literally just a sucky part of the job, to be honest. Oh, and there it is. Yep, sometimes that's a real pain in the butt to do. Look at that. So that snap ring is in, and your output shaft is nice and secure. Check that out, guys. Isn't that pretty awesome? So that's basically how you assemble the back half. This is actually the back half of the transmission here, right about here. That's how that's all assembled, guys. It's pretty intense stuff, not gonna lie. All right, guys, there you have it. The back half of the transmission is finally completed. We're gonna be moving on in the next video with the front half of the transmission. We're actually gonna be building this input drum. There's a lot of cleaning we have to do, a lot of stuff we have to disassemble in here, and we're gonna be replacing all those pistons and O-rings with all new pistons and O-rings sitting right here, as you guys can see. which I'm going to show everything. So you guys are going to be pretty interested to see the next video coming up. I'm going to explain all these clutches here to you and where they go and what they are. And then we're going to be doing new clutches in that drum as well, and a new O-rings on the piston. It should be pretty interesting. You guys do not want to miss the assembly of the input drum on this 4L60E. It's going to be freaking exciting. At least for me, it's going to be exciting. Hopefully, it's going to be exciting for you guys as well. But other than that, this video is done. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, do me a very, very big favor. Give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Instagram, Diablo Formula Racing. Facebook is also Diablo Formula Racing. Deuces, guys.